Hello everyone and welcome on back to some Dash Auto Repair. Today we are working on a 2014 Honda Accord. We have the Earth Dreams technology 4-cylinder 2.4. It's a weird name. But anyways, we're going to be replacing the valve cover gasket because as you can tell, it's leaking pretty bad all the way around. So we're going to replace this. We're going to replace the caps, all 4 caps for each coil pack. And let's get right to it. So I'm going to show you what you need. Alright, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to need your gaskets with the new tube seals and whatnot. Gasket maker, it could be any sort of RTV, but that'll be used for the to help with the crevices on the valve cover. Over here we have, just a drill. In fact, you don't really have to use power tools, but I prefer to use them because they're much quicker. But basically we have a deep well 10 mil. Deep well doesn't really have to be deep well, but 12 mil. And that's pretty much all you need for the job, except for Torx 20, which are the cap bolt head size. And we'll go over that more so when we get to that point. But yeah, so let's get started. Removing this valve cover gasket. Join me on this journey. Whew. So first things first, you could remove the negative battery terminal if you need to, but what that would do is that'll clear all your radio stations and stuff like that. So since this is a client's car, I'm not going to do that. Just going to remove the 12 mil real quick on the alternator, but basically we need to undo the alternator wires and move them up here, so that way we can, take this valve cover gasket off. So let's get right to it. Next, you're going to remove the bolts up top. They're, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 10 mils. Remember to put your bolts someplace where you can keep them safe. That's it. We'll keep them up here. Okay. So what power tools where it's at. Alright, so that's it. Take this Earth Dreams. It's a silly name. Keeping the air clean and whatnot. Alright, so anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and remove these electrical components right here to the alternator cable, and then also you have to remove one of the AC compressors, just a clip. It's very simple. Also, these are attached, so what I would do is get some, either your thumb, finger, or flathead to get through there to pull these out. Sometimes I like to use needle nose pliers for those stubborn ones. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt. There you go. Okay, and then one over here. Alright, so now we're going to move this thing out of the way. Okay, so just leave that bad boy over here. Make sure that rubber is covering the contact. You don't want it to hit ground. It'll spark, okay? Because it's still connected to the battery, so make sure the rubber is on there. Or you could disconnect the negative battery terminal. It's completely up to you. Cool. So now this is kind of loose. We're going to undo the connectors on the coil packs. There's little clips back here that's holding this electrical component on. Alright. As you can see, we can scoop that over. Alright, if you wanted to, you can put a zip tie right here to hold it in place. I actually recommend doing that. So that way it's not moving in your way, but for right now we're going to leave it there. Alright, we're going to take off the coil packs. So it's 4 10 mils. Easy peasy. Pull them out, set them aside. Tell, you guys can't see this, but there's a lot of oil residue over on cylinder 1, I believe. Alright, so now we need to take off the hose. So get your pliers. I did not tell you needed pliers at first, my apologies, but you do. At least in the old nose, or some form of pliers. It makes it easy to get these things off. I need to get a better angle. This is being stubborn. I'm going to turn it a little bit. Sure, when you're turning it, you're not messing up the rubber. It's just a vacuum hose, but still. Okay. Just needed to wiggle it enough so that way it comes out of its C spot. There it goes. Just pops right out. Let's remove this. Just a couple pops, taps on rubber tabs. Pop this out. And wiggle it on out. Set this to the side. Oh, this rubber piece right here goes right here. So this allows it to, which is the valve cover bolt right here. You just slide that in there, slap it on, like that. Okay? Set that aside. Alright. Now we're to the best part. So what I would do is I would take this off first, the O2 sensor. It's alright, there we go. Get that off. It's a 10 mil right there. We can take that off if we want to, but really we're just going to leave it on. It doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't go to the head at all. So now I believe that we can start. Oh, we got another vacuum line back here. So let's get that off with our pliers. I said you can zip tie this to the strip bar if you want, but yeah. So anyways, we're gonna pull this up. It's in a pretty weird spot. Try to rotate it. There you go, at least so I can see it. Okay, get that off. Wiggle it. And she's off. Alright, so I'm going to zip tie this up real quick. So you're going to laugh at this, but for the sake of the video, I could not find a zip tie. So I used Cat 5e to hold it up. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, that's going to hold that in place, and we're going to go ahead and take this valve cover off. So let's get it. 10 mils. There should be 10 of them. 10 mils. Set these to the side. We have 10 of them. Put these a little further. careful if you're using power tools. I'm doing it because I'm experienced. I've done it a lot, but I'm not going to strip it. But just make sure you're not staying on there too long and the threads are spinning after it's already released itself. Didn't realize this, but this is shaking the camera. The one on top that the rubber garment goes to. Back here, there's a couple more clips that we need to get off. Little electrical clips. We'll get that. Alright, let me get to the other side to get that other one off. And I believe that's 10. Okay. Now, could count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, there are 10 of them. Remember, this goes in only one spot. Right here. The rest of them can go wherever they need to go. Okay. Let's pull off those clips in the back real quick. And then we're good to take her off. Here. Okay, that one's off too. Alright, she can come off. It's going to be pretty dirty, so I just want to let you know. We got to crack it off. Okay. Alright. Alright. Comes, and she is off. That's what she looks like. These are the caps I was referring to. That's what we need to replace as well. Also this gasket. So set that to the side. Don't let any dirt or debris get in here, obviously. So I'm going to peel off the old gasket. There's just residue everywhere. All that residue. Alright, so here's the bag gasket. I'm going to set that to the side in the trash. Okay. Alright, so after you peel the gasket off, I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to be using the Ultra Gray. I didn't even realize I had this, but Ultra Gray RTV instead for the joints right here. So we have a joint here, joint here, joint over here, and joint back there. So basically on the new gasket I'm going to put RTV all around the wall over here, that side as well. I'm going to place them on here. I don't know if you can see that over here, but there's a little gasket in there, and there's a little gasket maker in there. So those are the joints that we need to put this stuff on. You can use Honda or RTV. I mean, I've seen people use Permatex all day, every day, never had any issues for years. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to clean up the matting surface first. So I could not find a razor blade to get the gasket, the original gasket stuff off, so I had a safe alternative, and I used a plastic trim tool. Basically, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to kind of clean up the surface. Don't let any of the debris go into the valves. Just want to scrape it out. Okay. Just want to keep it clean. I have a whole bunch over here. Woo! Windy. That's not good. Windy. I don't need all that dirt and debris in here. Keep that out there. I need to close the garage a bit. Alright, that should help. But anyway, so get to removing the old gasket. Okay, that joint is pretty fine, but there's the old gasket. There's a little gasket in here. Okay, this side's ready. I just need to clean this dirt over here with a rag. I need to go to the other sides first. See how they are. You basically want to make sure that it's flush, as flush as possible. Got the big glob that was over there off. These joints are annoying. But you gotta get it off, that way it mats. You don't want anything obstructing the mat surface. Okay. Okay. Ugh. All right. One more over here. Alright, so it's pretty solid. Alright, after you've scraped off all the old gasket, you need to clean off the matting surface with a towel or a cloth. You want to clean out. That way you get no sort of debris in the head. Oh, it's going to kill me. I'm using something, a rag from Target that I found out in the garage. Oh, sorry, honey. It's in the garage. It's now mine. It is now mine. It's a nice towel too. Thanks, babe. If you ever watch this, which I doubt you'll ever need to replace a 2014 Honda Accord valve cover gasket, but if you do, or hear about it, you will see that I use your towel. Alright, basically you want to clean this up all the way around. If you see any dirt, crud, clean it up. There's a lot back here. Basically want to have a nice clean matting surface. Nice and clean. Okay. We are good. They are good. We can now that this is ready to go, ready for the install, we go ahead and set our towel aside and focus on the valve cover and replacing the caps and the gasket. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, and we're back. So, you want to place the valve cover on something that won't get dirty. I have it on cardboard box. Here's my valve cover set. Doesn't have to be genuine Honda. A lot of people prefer that, but honestly I've seen great results from both. So I'm going to open that up, and we are going to be working with a T20 on getting the cap, the new caps in. Also ultra gray gasket. So the trash to the side. Alright, there's the gasket. We're going to leave that over there. And we are going to focus on these caps. So, the caps are up top, and they are T20s like I said, so there are 2 for each cap. Let me show you what it looks like. Here's the new one. So here's the cap. Basically there are little nuts on it, and that's where the screw goes in. There's a gasket in between the screw and the valve cover, so we have to put those on as well, but these are the new caps. And there's little rubber gaskets in there. I'll show you guys when we take them out. But, so let's get those out. Oh, that's in here. I thought I had the right one. Should fit like a glove. Jeez. Alright, found it. So, I'm just going to use my drill. These don't have to go in a particular type of way. Okay, so take them out. Here's the screw. See, it has a washer on it. That's the washer we're going to be replacing. Set those aside. They're all off. And you should have 8 of them. Okay. Now we're going to pop them out. Just flip it back over. And they should just pop right out. Might need to get a little bit to pop them out, but there you go. So just pop out with a little force. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit. Excuse French. Here's the old ones. Set those aside. Preferably in the trash. Need to find my rag. Alright, so. The other gasket I was referring to is right here. It's all like crunchy and old and brittle. And as you can tell, kind of hard to get out. So, we need to get a flathead to get that out. But basically, we need to get this rubber grommet out as well. I'm not trying to break anything, so be gentle. I'm going to get my pick. I think it might be easier. There we go. First try. This gasket is like hard and straight brittle, so definitely needed replaced. This Honda has about 120,000 miles on it, I think. So, not a bad idea to replace it. So let's go ahead and clean the matting surface. Get it free and clear of any debris. There's more gasket on it, so we got to get that off. Not too much. Okay. Just a little bit more gasket over here. Make sure to clean it all up. You don't want to have to do this again, do you? No. So make sure it's all cleaned up. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alright, this is clean. We can go ahead and place, don't stretch, but place the gasket on. Now, as far as how you do this, I'm not quite sure. We're going to kind of figure it out as we go. Trying to figure out which way this goes. Okay. I believe that starts here. Just have to find my starting point. Yeah, I believe that's it. Maybe not. Well, damn. So I'm going to figure this gasket part out. I think I found it. There we go. I think I found it. Okay. Anyways, I was about to pause the video on you guys because of my stupidity. But we're going to go ahead and, I think we found it. We're going to go ahead and guide the gasket on. Also, the valve cover goes on with 7 foot-pounds of torque. What I like to do is I like to start in a crisscross pattern with 5 foot-pounds of torque, maybe even 4 just to get them tight. And then I refer to the manual, which is 7.2, but 7's just as fine. Mine isn't as accurate for 7.2. So you want to press that gasket in there. Get it into its spots. If you need it to stick in there and it's not sticking, put a little gasket, just a little bit, a little gasket maker on it, so that way it just sticks to its part, but typically they fit perfectly. Typically they fit perfectly. Okay, so now we're going to put the caps on, the new ones. And to do that, we place the cap here, and then we thread the screw down below. But first we're going to scoot the screws aside. I'm going to put this other brittle gasket on. And we're going to dump all this stuff out. So cap, cap, cap. I'm going to take the caps real quick. Oop. You don't want to lose new gaskets. Make sure there's nothing on them. Okay. Set the new caps in. Just going to leave them there. It might not even help, but anyway, so I'm going to put this bad boy on. Okay, it's on. Now I'm going to take the washers off. It's like a gold washer. Take those off, put the new ones on. Very important. Very important. You do not want to have to do this again. So I might as well put in the work now. Don't be lazy. Imagine doing this with gloves. Some of these are a bit stubborn. Remember, those joints again were right here, back there in the same spot. And we got all the other joints. Looks like I'm going to put a little bit over there just in case. A little bit over there just in case. And on the back side. Okay. And then a little bit more. Okay, so those joints. Now we're gonna put the valve cover on. So let's get it. So make sure nothing's in the way. All the caps are on. All the gaskets are on. We're going to kind of hold the gasket in place while putting it on. Oh, we lost the gasket. Oh man, that's not good. Alright, so we're gonna kind of loosen some of this stuff up so we don't have any obstructions. So I tried to put the valve cover on at first, and some things were just getting in the way. So make sure everything is free and clear before you attempt to put it back on. And everything looks to be free and clear. Alright, let's do it. Alright, here we go. Let's put it back on. Okay, wonderful. Verify everything is seating properly. That was a nice, the tubes were going through and making a poop sound, so we want to check all the above, verify it's all good. So get yourself a flashlight. And nothing's torqued down yet, so it's not really perfect right now. Obviously, we want to make sure there's no obstructions. The gasket is on. We can see the seal. Joints look good. That stuff. Okay. That tab's good. And that side looks good. Okay, so now we can put the screws back on, valve cover bolts. these on, I'm going to finger tight them first to make sure that nothing strips. And of course, this one, where the rubber garment goes on this side. So, finger tight them into their positions. And then after we finger tight them, then we will go upon tightening. When you're tightening, you want to go in a crisscross pattern. So that way it is balanced and the gasket seats properly with the head. Because you don't want to do this again, do you? Nope. Oops. Shut the camera there because I hit the hood with my big old nose. It's a hunker. Okay, there's two more for me to get. They are in the back. And one more on this side. Okay, so they're all finger tight. Now, 7 foot-pounds of torque all the way around. So, what I'm going to do in order to do that is I'm going to take my 10 mil extension and I'm going to pre-tighten with my hands again as far as I can with this until it requires me to use a tool. Okay, now I'm going on the back side. Very important that you get a nice flush seal. Do it as far as I can with my hands. Okay, now going to that side. You kind of want to apply this same sort of concept with anything that you're trying to seat in a flush manner. You want to go in a crisscross pattern. So you get a nice perfect seat. That part is very important, otherwise you'll be doing the job again. So I went from there and now I'm going over here. Okay, now I'm going over here. Okay, now I'm going back over here. And I'm going to go on that side. So what we did is we essentially tightened here, 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 here. That brought the whole thing down. Then we're tightening inside now. So I just tightened this. We're going to go to the back side now. Okay, so now I'm going to this side. Okay. It's going to be a little harder to tighten now. There should only be one more to get. One side, one side. One side. One side. One side. Aha, this one. Okay, alright. So now if you look at it, you should see it's a bit more flush with the head. So it's going to look even more flush when we torque it down. So make sure all of them are tight. And what I would do is I would make sure the gasket's not getting pinched in any way possible. You want to make sure you can see the tabs. Okay, looks much better than what it did. All the tabs are visible. Nothing is crimped or bent. Now we can torque it down. Alright, so I'm going to get my 1/4 inch torque wrench. Alright, so torquing the valve cover bolts. I'm using a 1/4 inch. So basically you want to use 83 inch-pounds. So I started over here, and when I turn, I'm going gentle. You hear that click? That lets me know that that's a torque spec. So now I'm going to move over to this side. I'm going to do the same thing. Hear that click? Lets me know I'm good. Now I'm going to go over to that side. Crisscross pattern, guys. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Okay. Now back to this side. Reverse, reverse. Okay. So we did this one, that one, that one, this one. Now moving over here. Okay. And a nice click. Got this at Harbor Freight 10 years ago for like 20 bucks probably. Okay. We're going over here. Next side. I talk about power tools often, but I will say that these tools are unmatched. These torque wrenches, they save your life from a world of headache. And it's very gentle. Alright. Alright, so we tighten this bolt, that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this bolt. So we're going to verify. Now we have to do the two that are on this side first. Okay, and the one that is holding the rubber grommet. Okay, so confirm all of it. Confirmed. 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 Some people like to put paint on them to show that they're a torque spec. But I just go through them all just to verify. Trust, but verify. That's how I work. Alright, they're all on. Did I get this one? Okay. They're all tightened to torque spec. Now we can put the coil packs on and the rest of the components. So put your torque wrench back and let's move forward. Alright, let's get it. So I'm going to put the coil packs back on. It's a nice little seal. You want to hear that little pop. Pop. A little weird, but pop. Okay, and also I'm going to put on the hoses for the vacuum lines. And my clamp went all the way to back there. Jesus. Okay, so alright, so let's put those clamps on. this back, so we're going to untie it from our Cat 5. And then we're going to clip it. It clips back here, in there. Okay, so clip that in there, and then down here it also clips, so make sure that's clipped. Okay, these are clips. I'm going to plug these in first before I clip this side. Okay, now slap her on. Beautiful. Cool. Alright, now let's put the bolts in. So we have 4 10mm. Could probably put that in first before we did this, but it's all good. We should have space. Finger tighten first. These don't need to be torqued to anything, but do not over torque them. Do not over torque anything, because you will strip it and you'll hate yourself later when you gotta do this. Guess what? All over again. So I did that from a time or two, or once before when I was younger, being dumb and trying to get it done quick. Okay, so we don't have very many bolts left to put on, so we're gonna tighten these. Okay, on. That's good, that's tight. Alright, so now we're gonna put that Earth Dreams. Oh! Cap back on. Get this down here. Earth Dreams. Don't forget your Earth Dreams. Put those bolts in, of course. Do them by hand first. There are 5 of them. And una mas. Alright, well, I don't know what part you guys caught me up, but basically the camera cut off. I was putting on this cap. We put the coil packs on with the 4 10mm. Now we're just putting on the Earth Dreams cap. So 5 10mm all over the place. Okay. Let's get them a little finger tight, and then I put them on. It's very easy to strip something these days. Okay. Okay. That's on. Now we're going to put on the O2 sensor and the alternator. So it's 12 mil. So we're going to put on the O2 sensor first, clip that bad boy in. Okay, and then clip that to the side. There you go. She's in there, that's in there. This is holding on in place. The screws are in. Everything is torqued to spec. Always make sure you go over everything. Now, I would just plug this bad boy in now. Oh, my alarm's going off. Alright, finish finger tighten screwing this, and then get it on. Not too tight. Okay, that's on. Alternator plug is on. Your radio presets are saved. Yeah, my guy. Alright, now we need to put these back on. So we're going to clip. Very simple clip. Also put the little clips back into the metal brackets because that does help. It is there for a purpose. That is what they were designed for, folks. Clip in the AC compressor. Okay, make sure everything is good. And you, my friend, have just replaced a valve cover gasket on a 2014 Honda Accord. And you know what the crazy thing is? I almost forgot. put this back on. So don't forget to put your vacuum lines on, folks. Ugh. Especially those vacuum lines, because those go to the intake. Those serve a valuable purpose. Alright, so let's get that on, and then we are finished. So guys, if you liked the video, share, subscribe. I got plenty more videos. I do this very often. And also, if you could help me out. I mean, I don't do this for a living, but I do IT as well. But I'd really like to have, you know, newer cars out there. So support me if you can. My wife drives a 2010 Denali, and that I need something newer for her, you know. So let's see if we can get her something else. So support my page, like, share, subscribe. Oh, I almost forgot to put this rubber grommet thing back on. So let's set that on. Don't forget the little rubber grommet right here. That sits on right over there, and it just sits in just like that. There, guys. As always, we got that cap on. Once you, my other camera clipped out, so we're gonna clip these back on. Okay. Now everything's on there. Everything is tidy. And you, my friend, have just done a valve cover job. Nice job. Like, share, and subscribe, like I said. Love the support. Appreciate it. And let's get this going, guys. I'm going to get these videos pumping. Happy holidays, y'all. Dash Auto Repair out. Sheesh. All right, make sure you turn her on so there's no leaks. Everything looks pretty good. We'll be able to check that backside, but should be able to smell it. But as you can tell, we torqued everything down pretty nicely, so we should be all right. Good job, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Check me out for more videos. Dash Auto Repair out. Peace.